What is up, everybody? Welcome to Sports Shack episode 19. My name is Brandon Gerard Natali, along with my good buddy of mine, Dennis Tui, aka D Train. Do you still like to go by D Train sometimes?
Everybody I know calls me something different.
I just know it because of just from the BDJ days.
Mm,
That's right, and it just I don't know, it always stuck with me. I'm like D Train, like
yeah,
D Train. What do you think? But I don't know. I've just been calling you by your regular name now. A
doesn't
lot
bother me.
a lot of people never really call me like some people. If they're serious, to be like Brandon. A lot of our close friends, they all say buddy.
Yeah,
You know.
nicknames, man. What are you gonna do?
I love it. I don't know. I love having a nickname.
Yeah, I do too. I kind of find it funny that like the only people who refer to me as Dennis are like my coworkers and teachers and classmates. My friends and family all have something different for me.
I feel like we mainly call you Dennis. Like
Yeah, it's
whenever I
kind
talk
of veered back. I don't know. I don't know. It's
yeah, man. No, yeah. But I know we were talking about it before. I did see the Minecraft movie. I thought it was pretty good. No popcorn got thrown at me. No drinks got thrown at my mother. I didn't have to fight anybody. Not that I would have to fight anybody because I'm not. But luckily that didn't happen. Because I've obviously, like I said, I've showed you what happened in the movie theaters, what's been going on with the Minecraft movie. It was a vibe. It was a vibe. Like I said, like every time there was some like a funny scene, like the lava chicken scene, the chicken jockey, Flint and Steel, like people were just clapping and laughing, you know, and it was a vibe. Like that, I'm okay with. I'm okay with that, you know. It's in the movie theater. There was a guy that kept laughing hysterically. Like you just every scene, you just kept laughing. I don't know, but it was like funny though. His laugh was just funny.
dude
I
was
don't know
both
why.
baked.
Probably, honestly, looking back at it, I'm not sure, but anytime I just heard him from a corner, I kept saying to my mom, and I saw my mother. I was like, I don't know who that guy is, but like, I can't stop laughing. He was just funny. um, but it was good though. I think it was a good movie, good story. Um, I didn't play Minecraft a lot when I was a kid, vaguely. Like I would play it with my friends. A lot of my friends played Minecraft, so that's how that's my only connection to Minecraft. There's a lot of people that like generally addicted to it. I know someone right now actually still playing Minecraft to this day. He was playing Minecraft at work when I was watching. He had like a Nintendo Switch, and I saw on it was Minecraft.
What a legend.
Yeah, no, definitely. Um, so yeah, you definitely got to see it though. Like, did you play Minecraft as a kid?
I all right. So growing up, I had a Nintendo 64 and a PS2 up until 2011 when we got a Nintendo Wii. Then I had all three bars.
2011.
Yeah. And then I bought my Xbox One with my own money, every cent, my own money in 11th grade. Columbus Day weekend of 11th grade, I set it up. And I'll never forget it because I knew my grades were horrible and I was going to get grounded and my parents were away on a vacation. And I got it. I pulled an all nighter. I went to sleep at 6 a.m. because I was playing Gears of War. That day I had a volleyball game and I was like falling asleep during the game.
Ooh, that happened.
I was off to the side. Yeah, because I came back from a trip that day too. Like earlier in the afternoon. Yeah. So it was Columbus Day. And I don't know why we had a 1 o'clock game, but I went to bed at like 6 a.m. I might not have even went to bed for a long period of time. I might have gotten up at like 9 a.m. so I could keep playing because I knew I was going to get grounded. And they had me doing the flex because I missed a practice because, again, I was away too for a Boy Scout trip. I forgot where we went.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, fine. I know the rules. It's stupid, but whatever. You know, just bench one of your best players. Why are we losing? Whatever. And then I was doing the flags. I don't know if you ever watched the volleyball game, but they have a kid that do the flags,
I have.
call the ball
Yeah.
in or out. Right.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know. And I was like falling asleep while standing. I was
Really?
that tired. Yeah.
It
So
happened.
that's when I finally had a system that I could do online stuff for. I didn't have like a credit card to keep renewing the
The Xbox.
online.
Right.
So I didn't have Xbox Live for like quite some time. because I just used what the pass they gave you, and then I would buy it personally. I didn't have a car yet, so like I actually kind of like I think I played Minecraft, but like offline. I had played it a bunch of times at friends' houses to that
Right.
point,
Same.
but I was not hardcore into it. And then I guess senior year of high school, I played it a little bit, and then like freshman year of college, really that summer, I guess yeah, 2019, like that fall, I
Right.
got into
Okay.
it a lot with my friends.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the answer of me in the Minecraft. And then after my friends stopped playing it with me, I stopped playing it completely.
Oof. Man, okay. That sounds
Because you know what it is? Like I know this is really bizarre, but
what?
like if I have nobody to show what I'm doing, I feel like it's very pointless. I feel like it's very fruitless.
Okay.
And so I don't do it. It's weird. I don't do anything like that really.
Right.
Yeah, if you ask me, Dennis, how many hours have you put into MLB The Show 2010 in 2018? I'd be easily over 200 hours. So what does that go to show you?
Yeah. No. Definitely.
There's the timeline of me in Minecraft. You didn't really ask, but I figured I'd tell you.
No. Hey, I don't care. You can tell me. Um. I'm up 2010 though. Really?
Only one that was it was the only one I had.
You were playing with like David Wright, Carlos Beltran, Jose Reyes, Johan Santana,
Joe Mauer
Joe Mauer. Yeah.
was the cover athlete.
That was. Yeah. I remember that was the cover athlete that year.
Yep.
Was gonna say, but you know, I definitely would go see it though if you have the opportunity.
Yeah, I want to see it. I was gonna go. The reason why people are like, why are you guys talking about this? I was telling them earlier I was not feeling well at all today. I was tired like all day long, and dehydrated all day long.
It's probably why I'm. It's probably what happened to me. I'm
And
probably dehydrated too.
yeah, and so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna sleep all day. And I don't know
Well,
why, but whatever.
well deserved.
And not really, because this was totally the wrong time to do this because I have a lot to do.
Okay.
But I like earlier in the week, I kind of mapped out like, all right, I could get everything I want to get done and see a 2 hour movie. None of it went my way because I was like too tired to function. Then the NBA games came on. I was like, all right, I'll just watch it. What am I going to sit here and do homework? I know I'm not. So tomorrow I have something to do. I'm working 9 to 2. Then I have somewhere to be at 6. No idea when I'm going to get out of that. And then yeah, it's going to be a wild weekend for me because I have a lot of homework to catch up on.
Okay. Wait, hold on, real quick. When does Revenge of the Sith come out? Like the 25th
Friday.
anniversary? This Friday, but it's going to be in theaters for a while, right? It's not just like a 1 day thing.
I think it could be a 1 week thing.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know when it leaves theaters, to be honest.
I got to take advantage of it because
Yeah, we got to go. We got to go to that.
No, I'm down. I don't know if I could go to the Friday, but because I work late Friday. Oh, Adam Schefter alert. Oh wow, Tyler Lockett just signed with the Titans. We'll get into that in a second. But if it's like, I don't know if I'm doing anything Saturday night. We'll discuss it later. I definitely want to go because I want to see that in the theaters again. I remember when it was out in 2005. I remember it. I remember seeing
theaters.
I remember seeing. I don't remember. Wait, you saw it in theaters?
Didn't.
I don't think I did either. I don't think I did either. I should have. I don't know why my family didn't.
I could tell you the exact day I watched Revenge of the Sith. December 25th, 2005.
Wow, on Christmas Day.
We got it on DVD and we watched it as a family.
That's pretty cool. It used to make me sad. It used to make me spoiled because what happened in Order 66. No spoilers. Well, even though it's been out for
come on. If you don't know what happened in a prequel movie, that's on you. Get over yourself.
That as a kid, that made me sad. It still makes me sad. Like, because obviously it's effed up what's going on. But as a 9-year-old kid watching that, like that's traumatizing,
Well, it's based on reality. It's based on the real world.
Yeah. Hey.
Based on World War II.
Yeah, I guess it's very effed up and sad, but a great movie. Great lines. Just great story. I love the music. I'm pissed that nobody in the baseball chat, and I know we will get into baseball, But I'm pissed that no one answered my text when I said I was watching Revenge of the Sith, watching the ending, hearing the music with the fading out. It's a dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
It makes me cry. Like, it can make me cry. I don't know. I just love that. I'm getting emotional just like talking about it now. And it's good because like you know what I mean. It's just I remember it's just that music at the end of the movie, and then especially in New Hope when Luke Skywalker's looking out into the two suns. Just emotional, man. Just great music, man.
You want to hear something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I weirdly think the first 6 Star Wars movies are underrated.
When were they
And,
not?
and I think people that hate on the prequel movies and are like it's just nostalgia or whatever, I just think they don't get it. It's the same reason why like
They're
I did the
uncultured.
segment on Tui and Gable a few different times
They're uncultured.
called Devil's Advocate, where I'll just take a sports topic, a random sports topic, and just argue against it for the hell of it. Why not? And if I had to do like cultural Devil's Advocates, this could be like a fun YouTube channel in and of itself if I had the effort.
Yeah.
The willpower. I look at the prequels the same way I look at Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. You either get it or you don't, and if you don't get it, you'll never get it, and if you do get it, you'll love it. It's like wrestling. People don't get WWE or AEW. They just don't get it. I don't know why. I don't know how. Like people are like, it's stupid. It's it's lame. I don't know why grown men like it. It's like, all right, I get it. And then they'll sit there and say it's fake. Wrestling is fake. And I don't want to sound like the guy that was like, it's real to me, damn it. But all right, so go ahead. Go to Broadway. Sit there and watch Wicked for the 993rd time, and go tell me how it is. It's wrestling is just the action movies of plays. That's all it is. It's the action movie. It's the action movie of soap operas. And if you don't get it, you'll never get it. And if you do get it, you'll like it. Maybe not. Maybe
some people just no. I agree.
Like it anyway.
Some people,
yeah.
There's people that love WWE.
Right? Yeah, sure.
There's people that love it, and I'm not gonna hate on them. Hey, you want to love it? Go ahead. Like I don't watch it, but I'm not gonna hate.
I like the kind of more behind the scenes stuff of it, but yeah, like as far as the prequels go, I never understood like why people like. There's like a bit of a revisionist history of like people like our age that grew up with them liked it a lot, and now that's kind of flooded the internet. But the way I looked at it was like the criticisms of them originally were never warranted.
What do you mean?
Like a lot of the criticisms I never thought were like fair criticisms. The dialogue is stiff. It's supposed to be like a modern Shakespeare. That's what it's supposed to be. It's stiff, but it's consistent. Like I'll never forget, I had a teacher in high school in 11th grade, English teacher said, I'll never understand why kids misspell a word different ways in an essay. He's like, if you misspell a word once, why wouldn't you just keep misspelling it the same way? It's consistent.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're speaking, oh, where far out there, Anakin, and then next thing they're talking like they're out of The Sopranos. No. Their lore and their world and their continuity is consistent.
I sense Lord Vader's in danger.
Yeah. And then like, so it's weird and it's wood and it's not how people talk, but I hate to say it. They also take place a couple of galaxies far away and a long time ago. It's supposed to be like mythical.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Like Lord of the Rings or Shakespeare or King Arthur. I don't get how people don't understand that because I'm not allowed to swear on here, am I?
I wouldn't.
I'll try not to. I don't get how people don't understand it because it says it in the big blue letters right at the start of every effing Star Wars movie. I don't get it. And then it's like people that hate on Jar Jar Binks. All right, Jar Jar Binks was lame. I'll give you that one.
I think he was supposed to be like that.
The other stuff of it,
figure,
and they failed. Fine.
Right, and then they quickly
like some of the other criticisms of the prequels are stupid. Anakin and Padme have no chemistry. Oh, really? The 10-year-old slave who didn't know how to interact with people and was better off with robots than he was with real people doesn't know how to interact with people? Okay, go ahead. Sit there and tell me why Dennis, why doesn't that make sense? You see the glaring problem? He's socially awkward because he was underdeveloped. He was a weird kid. He was an awkward kid.
He was a weird kid, yeah.
And like, what do we? Almost every single in-world problem with those movies can be easily explained away. Now, some of the effects aren't the best. Sometimes it does look a little choppy, especially in Attack of the Clones, in my opinion. Especially in the arena scene. I could think of the exact scene I'm thinking of. But I thought that those movies like get such a bad rap for no reason. And another one that sets me off most of all, I don't like the lightsaber duels in the prequels. I don't like the lightsaber duels in the prequels because it looks too choreographed, is what you hear.
Oh,
it looks too choreographed.
I thought you were criticizing.
And it's like, you know what? Why? That's like another one. It's like, no, you're just trying to find reasons to not like the movie to go against the grain. I'm not going to take you seriously.
But hey, I like to just wrap it up quick. I like the prequels. Okay. I think they're great movies. The original trilogy, great. New trilogy, I think the first one was great. It got off to a great start, and then they fumbled it bad. I hate what they did to Luke Skywalker, who's probably arguably one of my favorite action character figures of all time. Definitely top 5. I think it infuriated me how they botched his story in the new trilogy, because it wasn't him in the original trilogy. If you know what I mean. So that's why I'm pissed about that. They brought back Palpatine. Like, they could have come up with any other villain. Really?
So it made 6 movies completely worthless. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So like, he got thrown into the abyss in the 6th one. He should have been dead. It just, they completely said F you to George Lucas and F you to the comics. They easily could have went with the comics. And they said, nope, we're going to just redo everything like we did. And they thought it was going to work. Like, if George Lucas could buy them again and they could uncanonize the new trilogy, that'd be great. I don't know. I can go on forever.
I could too, but we'll have to do it off air. But real quick, another like big devil's advocate thing I have. I will say this till I'm blue in the face. I think Return of the Jedi is better than A New Hope.
Wow, really?
People that hate on the Ewoks, you can go to Alderaan, buddy,
Listen,
and I'd love to blow you up.
I love Return of the Jedi. It's.
I think Return of the Jedi. I think Return of the Jedi is better than A New Hope. And people that hate on like the Ewoks and stuff like that, like they're stupid, they're lame or whatever. It's like no, like they're primitive. I don't understand how the Imperials could lose to like such a primitive race. Really? Huh? Another thing, you just totally don't get what things are based on, huh? Can't see. Movie comes out in the early 80s. What was happening in the 60s, 70s? Can't figure it out? Okay. You're good. So that's another one. Unserious criticisms of it.
You know, we'll get into that later. I feel like
I will defend the Ewoks till I die. I have undying loyalty to Wicket.
The Ewoks, they love you. Maybe. I think the comment of the night is the go watch Wicked for the night.
Yeah,
it's funny because I know a girl that that is obsessed with Wicked. So when it came out, like the movie, she was infatuated by it.
Good for her.
Really cool girl. Really
bless
cool.
her heart. I've never seen it. Never really will. Don't do musicals, babe. But listen,
she would find that funny.
But you could say that about anything. The Titanic. Oh no, I didn't know the boat was going to sink. Lincoln. Hey, just between you and me, I think he's going to get shot in this one.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Wow. What a hot take.
I could go on forever about these movies, but we got to dive into sport. With Titanic, I think great movies though. Well, obviously not for the tragedies, but you know what I mean. But in terms of the Titanic,
never saw.
You know what's crazy enough? It was 113 years ago the other day or the other week that it sunk. How crazy is that? Yeah, around this time. How crazy. Rest in peace to all those people. Um, I was actually talking to myself about it today that I hope that, I like going on cruises, but I think one of my fears is that, like, I've been on two in my lifetime, hope to go on many more. I've always been feared that, like, if we could have, like, a Titanic moment. But what are the odds of that happen? Knock on actual wood that I'm going to do right now. Or actually, wait, hold on. All right, good. But no, I would definitely go on another cruise if I could. Um, you know, but I'm trying to think of a joke but I don't with the Titanic, but I don't want to do it. So,
I could think of a joke.
well, let me see if you can come up with it, and then let me just get started with the NBA playoffs. The Knicks, man, I'm telling you, don't sleep on. It's crazy how I did that transition. Don't sleep on the Detroit Pistons. As a Knicks fan, I'm an average Knicks fan. I'm not a diehard. I'm not a casual. I like to consider myself an average. I try to be. I try to be average Knicks fan. I like the Knicks team last year than I do this year. And a lot of people, I'm not wrong when I say, a lot of people agree with me when I say that.
Yeah.
The Detroit Pistons, I know they're young. They got a lot, even though Dennis Schroeder, he's been around. He's been around the block. Great player. He definitely showed that in game two. Cade Cunningham, a first overall pick from last year or a couple years ago.
I think too. Offhand,
Okay.
I forget.
But either way,
Gotten hurt.
definitely he's developed into the first overall pick and the star franchise for the Pistons, playing really good for them. I wouldn't sleep on the Detroit Pistons. They look like they got a great team. Definitely been playing the Knicks really hard. Game two felt like it was a 98. It was a 90s playoff game. I know some people that were at game one or game two. Uh, you know, if Dante DiVincenzo was on the team, he would have made that shot over Mikal Bridges. I know the thing against Mikal Bridges, but Brunson gave him a great opportunity. He had a great opportunity. Brunson fed it to him, wide open for the 3-point shot, and he missed it. Should have had should have did it when he had the opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know what.
So yeah, Cade was drafted, 4 years ago. So I think it took, so it's crazy seeing him playing at the level he is now. But yeah, like I said, like nothing against Bridges, but if that was Dante in that opportunity, he would have made it, and we've seen it last year against the Sixers. So all I'm gonna say is, though, the Pistons are not a team to sleep on. I know they're young and they still got a lot to prove, and obviously going up a team like the Knicks, who's third in the Eastern Conference, got Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Mitchell Robinson,
OG and
OG
Anunoby.
Anunoby is a great forward. My bad, I did not say his name right off the bat. But like I said, the Pistons, especially last game, I'm one of the last games of the year. I remember Detroit played the Knicks, and they played them pretty well. So I don't think a lot of people shouldn't be shocked right now looking at how the Pistons are, even the series 1-1. Knicks played a great game one. They were down by like 10, and they managed to have a 21-0 run in the fourth quarter and took game one. But now game two was pretty tight. Knicks could have easily won it. Great game. Knicks were playing tightly and contested. It was a very tight, contested game. Knicks could have easily won it, but obviously they didn't. So now they go to game three in Detroit. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. We'll see. But Dennis, what are your thoughts on that? On the Knicks?
Yeah, the thing about Mikal Bridges that you said that was interesting, like you thought Dante DiVincenzo would have made that shot. It is weird that like Mikal Bridges, like I'm a Suns fan, you know that. I'm sure our listeners and viewers know that. I'm a Suns fan, and when he was on the team in 2021, like I thought that the Kevin Durant trade was bad because I don't want to give him up. I still kind of stand by that, but I thought that maybe he could be a better player than he is now, more consistent player. It's like he's kind of regressed because I feel like if he was on the Suns and he took that shot, I feel like he would have made it. He was very dependable in those kinds of moments. But you are right, Dante DiVincenzo. Like there are guys that are just better in big game moments that rise to the occasion, and Dante was one of them. I don't know why. I feel like the Knicks team, they're third in the East. They're only behind the Cavs that have had a remarkable regular season, and the defending champion Boston Celtics who brought their whole team back. But is it weird that I still feel like the Knicks left money on the table? They should have been better.
They probably, if I was them, I
Like
would have
all I
made
heard from
what?
people
What
that
you?
live and die every Knicks game during the regular season, none of it was good.
It's not even that. It's just they didn't beat the good teams.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like the top three, like the Cavs, the Celtics, the Thunder. All those teams, they failed to beat. Maybe they were close. Lakers, they were close games. Close games. It's not like they got obliterated, but they still couldn't close them out. So it's definitely a little concerning, in my opinion. Um, I think in the trade for Karl Anthony Towns, they should have find ways to keep Dante. And you look at the Timberwolves, they're playing. I think they're playing great for them. If I might be wrong.
Yeah, the only thing is like with a player like Dante's high peaks and low valleys, Mikal Bridges is a little more stable, and defensively, it means night and day. So I don't think that was a bad trade at all. But
No, because Karl Anthony Towns
I
is,
mean, really,
you know,
really truthful, if we want to diagnose the reason why the Knicks are not favorites in the Eastern Conference or anything like that, when going into the season, I thought that they were my pick to win the NBA championship going into the NBA season. The bench is horrible.
yeah,
The
they got
bench is
to
horrible.
they got to
It's not those five and Mitchell Robinson out there. That's six. They're horrible. The thing is, Deuce McBride and some of the guys they have, but like, you never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get. No stapling presence. Meanwhile, I was watching the Celtics earlier. Peyton Pritchard, easy 10 points. Easy. Ty Jerome, for what he did for the Cavaliers the other night, forget it. Forget it. I mean, we'll probably talk a little bit about those series in a bit, but what Ty Jerome did in that game, I mean, he was out there with Donovan Mitchell. He was out there with Tyler Hero. He was out there with Bam Adebayo, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, and he was probably the best player on the court. The guy didn't miss.
right.
I mean, he was pulling up. The guy could have pulled up from 60 feet. I'm sure he would have made it the other night. It's unbelievable. So, you see the kind of production other teams are getting off their bench, and the Knicks just are not getting it at all. So I don't understand it. That being said, going into this series, I thought the Pistons were going to win. I picked them to win outright. And I don't feel great. Like it's not like the Knicks are just going to sleepwalk to the end or the Pistons are going to sleepwalk. Oh, my gosh. The officiating in this Rockets game is making me making me want to go to Alderaan and get blown up.
What channel is that game on?
551. Oh, you don't have Verizon. TNT. Give me a break. Oh my gosh. What a flop by Draymond. Ugh. He's making a soccer player look like a hockey player with this flop. Whatever. It's all game. The refs have been shafting the Rockets. This is unbelievable.
I'm flying high.
I mean, come on. Like literally, did you see that play?
Let's see.
You just missed it on your replay because I'm seeing it off your TV.
Defying gravity.
But this is the fix is on. The fix is on in this one. Whatever. Rockets are still up 12. I mean, the Warriors. Look at this play. Look. Turn around. Barely even touches him, and then afterwards, look. Barely even touches him. Ow. Oh.
Right now by Draymond.
Flop.
He knew what he did.
That's a Magic Carp play, right?
They're showing him on the bench right now. He knew what he was doing. Definitely a lot of flopping. We got to talk about what happened to LeBron. I don't know if you saw. He literally was on the floor, looked like he was in the most severe pain you could imagine, and then he has his eyes. He was like, and he's like, let me see if I can find it. I gotta find it. Did you see it?
I did. I was watching the game.
So a lot of flopping in the NBA.
Yeah, my buddy.
Floppy flounders.
My buddy of mine, Big Vince, his aunt was on the women's national soccer team or like a high-level professional soccer player 20, 25 years ago. And she was, or I guess maybe even 30, probably longer. and she was his soccer coach as a kid. And
Really?
Big Vince got fouled and was like, what the hell? He gets back up, and this is when he's like probably 5, 6 years old. Gets back up, and his aunt, their next stoppage, she was like, if you ever get fouled again, stay down. He's like, yeah, but I don't care. She's like, stay down. Because the ref isn't going to see it. There's too much going on. There's too many players out there. She's like, stay down. They'll call something.
Wait, Gio, what did the ref say?
He started to get calls.
Oh, so flagrant one.
She was teaching him how to flop when he was like 6 years old.
Draymond Green?
No, Brandon.
Oh,
I'm talking
Big
about a
Vince.
buddy of mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
Big Vince. Oh, Big
I
Vince.
don't know if this is because I don't have the audio on.
It ended up being a flagrant one.
Oh, stop it. Oh, my gosh. They worship.
But anyways,
oh, God. How much is State Farm paying you to say that? Give me a break. That's not a flagrant one.
Define, hide, define.
With all the stuff that Draymond does and gets away with, give me a break. Oh, stop.
No, the
shoe
Celtics
was
had
on the
a
other
game
foot.
today. I feel bad for the people, for the Magic fans out there, because Zagreb is. I feel like the
Not
Magic,
even a series.
right. I feel like the
Not
Celtics
even a series.
going to be cruising by, and then you got the Cavs.
We didn't have Jason Tatum today either. And Kristaps Porzingis got elbowed in the face and got busted open. Had to get stitches during the game.
He played the Cavs. That's interesting.
That was actually a really good game. And game one,
Looks like it was a good game.
Game one, the Cavaliers absolutely blew their doors off, and against because Ty Jerome went on another planet. He must have been training on Dagobah with
Yoda.
Yoda. I don't know why I drew a blank there because I was not paying attention. That's why. And I mean, it was unbelievable. They won 121-100 the other day, and it felt like a whole lot more. And that was mostly because Ty Jerome, who was a finalist for Sixth Man of the Year but didn't get it, ultimately went to Peyton Pritchard.
Well, now Draymond's getting a technical.
Had the second most points in the game behind his teammate Donovan Mitchell. Ty Jerome, you want to hear about this stat line right here. In 26 minutes of work in game one, Jerome had 28 points and 5 for 8 from 3. Mama, there goes that man. 3 for 5 from the free throw line. 10 for 15 total on field goals for Ty Jerome. So what an outstanding game one. And then game two, I think he was worse. Certainly, I mean, you're a bench player. You're putting up that kind of production. Forget it. But, he was okay. He had 6 points, 2 for 8, 1 for 4 from 3. Not what you would expect. But, yeah, I mean, the rest of the team stepped up. Mitchell had 30 points. Jared Allen only had 9 and 8. And Garland had 21. So they were still able to win, but the Heat made it close. It was close to the cold, bitter end there.
Whoa.
It was only about with 3 minutes to go that the Cavaliers pulled away, if that, quite frankly.
This Jalen Green guy is playing pretty good.
He is good. One thing I will say.
Right now. And he just made a close 3-point shot right now. I don't know if you saw that. It was a good 3-point shot.
The clutch analytics for the Rockets are very good, but a lot of times they do kind of run into a bit of a wall offensively that they can't find. They can't find buckets they need. And yeah. So that's something to keep an eye out for in this series. If it's a close game late, and it's not because Jimmy Butler got hurt and injured during this game, they don't know when he's going to be coming back. He had a pelvis contusion. He's getting x-rays tomorrow. And Brandon Podojemski was hurt in this game as well. He was ill, and he left the game at some point. Not sure if he'll be back for game 3. I would imagine Podojemski will be, but not Butler. Butler's still up in the air.
Okay.
But it's a good game. It was,
I feel like there's definitely been a lot of good games, especially this game right now. So I thank you for telling me to tune in. The NBA playoffs real quick, and then I feel like we should dive into baseball quick. So we're not, because I don't want to stay up too late tonight. I feel like the NBA playoffs and around this time, especially with the NHL playoffs, it's definitely a fun time. I don't know, something about the playoff basketball, the energy, the vibe. It's definitely different than in the regular season. And I think that's what the NBA lacks now in terms of the ratings. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I think just when the playoffs come, it's just a different feeling, different vibe.
Yeah, guys mail it in way more in the regular season, and it's noticeable. I think it's noticeable because it's such a star-driven league and it's 5-on-5, and there's more attention to every player. You know, like in baseball, like we all know the guys that don't run it out to first base. We all know the guys that do. Like Brandon Nimmo, he always runs out his walks. Love that about him. Gary Sanchez, not the same. You know, so sometimes some sports it's easier to pay attention to that stuff, but in football, like you can't really tell if a guy's mailing it in or not. Basketball, you can kind of tell, right? If a guy's dogging it a little bit, or if a guy's not, which is why I think Knicks fans love Josh Hart so much because that guy will die for a rebound, and it's the middle of December. So I totally get what you're saying. I will say this has been a pretty good playoff so far. The Grizzlies series against the Thunder, you don't got to watch that. That's blowout after blowout. Forget it. But congratulations on the Thunder for having a bye while still getting some points on the back of the trading card for you. But you know the Thunder, not the Thunder, the Nuggets and the Clippers, fantastic. Game one overtime. Yesterday's game also really close. This game, even though it's a big lead for the Rockets, it's not coming easy that you can watch and be entertained. Trying to think here, just off the top of my head. Lakers Grizzlies tied up at 1-1. That's a good one. And yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then taking a quick look at the East, Cavaliers up 2-0. That series I think is over. But Pacers Bucks, Indiana leads 2-0, but Damian Lillard's back now. He missed game one because he still had his blood clot issue.
Right.
But he's playing again. Maybe he can kind of come back into it. And I just want to see real quick. I actually didn't look at his final box score from the other day. I missed it because I was at night school. And it was, all right, Pacers won by 8. And Lillard, for those of you who didn't watch it, 14 points, 2 for 8 from 3, 4 for 5 from the free throw line, 4 for 13 from the field. So very poor performance. Hopefully he can play himself back into shape if you're rooting for the Bucks in that one. Kuzma had zeros across the board in 28 minutes of work in game one. This time he had 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Still not really playing the best. 5 for 10 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. And with the Pacers, just death by 1,000 cuts. You know, deep team. They're like the kind of team, and if you're playing NBA 2K, may not have a lot of 95 overalls, but a lot of 85 overalls, and just a tough out. And then, obviously, we spoke about the Celtics and the Knicks, and then, yeah, Caps. So there's your playoff roundup.
All right. Now let's dive into the baseball world. My Mets, my New York Metropolitan Mets, my New York Mets, LFGM, baby. 7-0 on the homestand. Francisco Lindor looked phenomenal. I think he was 14 for 30. If I saw a stat earlier. The pitching has been dominant. When everyone doubted them, everyone's saying they need to get an ace. They need to get Corbin Burns. They need to go out and get a Garrett Cole type player. David Stearns is like, nope, don't tell me what to do on my team. Don't tell me to change up my theory, my stats. They don't even have Sean Manaea, Frankie Montas. And, you know, what they've been managing to do with Griffin Canning, Tyler McGill, you know, Kodai Senga looking good, Clay Holmes, you know, changing it up from being a starter to a reliever, David Peterson playing better. I am definitely impressed with the Mets and how they've been doing. Pete Alonso playing like he should have last year. Juan Soto has definitely made some effects. I know people are going to look at the average. People are going to look at the average and just look at the stats that they do now. They're not really watching the games, not really seeing what he's actually doing. Today, I thought he played a great game. A lot of outfield help. He had an outfield assist to stop a run. He did get a single, and his defense was spectacular today than people think. And I think it's like I said, it's going to take time before he really breaks out. People are waiting for him to kind of break out. I'm waiting for it too. I'll have the patience. We got him for 15 years. Francisco Lindor, it took a while for him to get transitioned and settled into the New York groove. See what I did? So I'll definitely take my time with Soto. I'm definitely patient. And like I said, I think he's still doing good and contributing in ways. I just think a lot of people aren't really watching the games really and seeing that, in my opinion. But no, just great to the Mets. 18-7, best record in the majors right now. They got to keep the good momentum going. And this series was huge, especially the sweep against the Phillies, one of their division rivals. Phillies are a good competition, especially at the start of the year. So it definitely was a great start. So now the Mets go on the road. I believe they play. Um, they're off tomorrow, but then they're going to play
Nationals,
play Nationals, and they're going to travel.
Washington.
Then they're going to play Arizona. They come back and they play Arizona. And then yeah, so I love what I'm seeing out of the Mets, and I hope they keep it going. Now to the Yankees, I don't know what's been going on with the bullpen. I feel bad for Devin Williams. I feel like we talked about him enough. I don't know what happened in the game yesterday. The bullpen just kind of collapsed. A lot of people blame Mark Leiter. He said he didn't have his stuff. Um, Ben Rice has been definitely looking good. Paul Goldschmidt definitely gets a lot of love too. We got to give him some love. And yeah, anything you got to say on the Yankees?
Definitely. First of all, the Yankees right now, first time in team history, I think, that the number one and number two batting average leaders in the American League are New York Yankees. Actually, I don't think it's for the American League. I think it's for the whole league or Yankees. Aaron Judge and Paul Goldschmidt. Judge at one, Goldschmidt at two,
Right.
and they're just offensively. I still kind of want to see a little more from other guys on the team. Ben Rice has looked good, as you mentioned. Volpe kind of got to pick it up. Jazz Chisholm, he's in a bit of a slump right now. He's, high peaks, low valleys guy. I haven't been able to watch a lot of their games, sadly. I know it's intense. You're supposed to be the Yankee guy, but a lot of like the weird put them on Apple TV, put them on
Right.
Amazon kind of games, and I'm like, you guys are driving me nuts here.
Let's go.
But they avoided being swept by the Guardians today. But that would have been the first time since 1970 that they got swept in Cleveland. So I appreciate that. But also, we got to keep an eye on it because I am a little worried now. They are currently a game and a half up in the division on Boston. I picked Boston to win the division going into the season. I'd said that on here a couple weeks ago. I kind of want to see a little more from the starting pitching. I want to see Carlos Carrasco do better. I want to see Clark Schmidt do better. I understand he just came back from an injury. Fine. I get it. Only 2 starts so far. A 7.45 ERA in 9.2 innings of work, 8 earned runs, 1 strikeout per a 1.8 strikeout per walk ratio. That's not good. 9 total strikeouts to 5 walks. 11 hits allowed in those 9.2 innings. So I want to see more. Certainly want to see more because we're going to be relying on him, especially without Garrett Cole, to have a more well-rounded pitching rotation. Max Fried, phenomenal. He almost had a no-hitter the other day. He's been, perfect. I'm not going to sit here and zag or anything like that. The guy's been great. As advertised, love him. I just want to see a little more from the other guys. Carlos Rodon, 3-3 on the season. You know how I feel about him. I'm a little, he's bullish on him all the time. I feel like he's very inconsistent. And the bullpen, as you had mentioned, Brandon, the bullpen has struggled a lot lately. Devin Williams, in particular, has been atrocious, really. And we need a little more stability, is what I would say.
Right.
And he has 4 saves this season, Devin Williams. It's actually probably a little more than I would have thought. But, 9 ERA in 8 innings of work. That's about a run an inning, right? A little over a run an inning. So that's not good. 8 strikeouts to 7 walks, but 11 hits. We don't want to see that.
No, we don't.
So that being said, they are still in first place. We'll see what happens. But this Boston core, since Alex Cora took over, always owns the Yankees. We haven't played them yet this season, and I'm starting to get a little worried about it. The good thing is we have a 3-game homestand against Toronto beginning on Friday, and then 3 games on the road against Baltimore. Hopefully, we can kind of knock them back in the standings a little further and get right again. But I'm a little afraid of when the Yankees, they're always prone to falling apart in July, and that's what I want to get to. That July, August, I want to have a big enough lead that if we collapse, we're fine. We have a soft cushion to land on. As far as the Mets go, one thing I do want to say about them, looking good.
Thank you.
18-7 atop the division, the best record in Major League Baseball this year, and the biggest lead in their division in the league as well. They're 5 games ahead, is better than the next highest, which is the Cubs ahead of the Brewers by only 2 games. So good job by them. The one thing I will say, the Braves have been very hot. They started the year off, 0-7, 0-8, something like that.
I think
And it was-
0-8.
Yeah, and it was horrible. They've been 6-4 over their last 10. They're now 10-14 on the year. So just be a little mindful. It's 7.5 games ahead of the Braves, who are in last place. But the Braves, if there's a team that could come back, it's them. They have the guys to do it. And just be careful. That's not a walk in the park division. That being said, they're establishing a nice little cushion for themselves that if things do go wrong, they have something to fall back on. And that's all the while they're not getting the production out of Juan Soto that they were hoping for,
Right.
albeit, like you had mentioned, still not very bad, just a little disappointing, surely.
To start.
One thing also about the Mets I want to bring up, game-winning RBI today went to Starlin Marte. Nice little bloop single in between second base and the center fielder there. That little sweet spot. Scores Pete Alonso from second. Good for him. The reason why I bring that up, what I like about the Mets is it's not always Alonso and Lindor. Jesse Winker in a big spot always seems like he delivers. Tyrone Taylor seems to always deliver in the big spot. So if you're a Met fan and you have guys like that on your roster that you can rely on, aside from the top of the order, holding on to that lead and winning that division, especially going into the playoffs, and some of those guys like Taylor and Winker we saw in the playoffs perform well, that's going to mean a lot. So I definitely do feel like the Mets are a legitimate powerhouse in the National League and in Major League Baseball as a whole. And, hey, man, good luck to them. Hopefully they can get a 3rd World Series ring after this season, albeit, I'm still rooting for my Yanks. But I always say New York World Series is fine by me.
Go New York, go New York, go.
You a Vanilla Ice fan?
Say it again?
Are you a Vanilla Ice fan or no?
That's not Vanilla Ice.
It's not Vanilla Ice, but it's supposed to be.
We are the New York.
He made the New York. He made the Go Ninja
Oh, okay.
for the Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
That's where they got that from. I think. I don't know which one came out first.
Go Ninja, go Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, the Ninja.
All right. Let's see. I guess.
Real quick before we get into if we want to talk about NFL draft stuff.
Oh yeah, you know what? Oh my God, yeah.
Real fast. Lindor and Alonso, from my perspective, 2 best National League players this year. You only have 1 MVP vote. Who do you give it for? Who do you give it to?
To who?
Lindor or Alonso? Who should get National League MVP from your perspective?
That's a very good question. I'm not gonna lie. I never thought I would get hit with that question.
Please sound off in the comments, Mets fans.
I don't know why I'm shocked. I think It's tough. I think I would have to go with Alonso because Alonso has the average right now, and and
A good reason.
my allergies. I would have to go with Alonso. I like what he's doing. I think Lindor definitely is working his way up to becoming an all star for the first time in a Met uniform.
Crazy that hasn't happened yet.
It's very crazy.
It's like-
Definitely working up to get a Gold Glove. I think. I know he's had a couple errors this year, but his fielding has definitely gotten better. He's shown it too. It's definitely been clutch. I'm gonna have to go with Alonso because, like I said, I think Alonso had a has had a great year to start off. He's hitting 350, 6 home runs, 26 RBIs, top five in the league. I believe he's leading the league in RBIs. So that's my vote. I would have to go with Alonso.
yeah, yeah. Looking at the head to head, it seems like you would be right. Lindor only has 2 stolen bases, huh?
Yeah, I'm surprised this is not more. I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just so people can see it. I would have guessed Lindor before I saw the stats, but obviously this doesn't lie. I mean, Alonso it is. Huh. Not bad. I mean, what a year for him, man. Especially after getting that contract. So I know it's not consistent. I get it. It's not guaranteed. But still, I mean, that's not bad. Not bad at all. 8 for 18 on 3 pointers. Wow. Good for Jalen Green. All right. Draft.
Yeah, I'm excited for the draft. I want to dive into the draft real quick because I'm feel like we definitely have been on the show for a little bit, so I definitely
Yeah,
want to.
let's make we're on that long.
Yeah, no, I didn't think we are going to be on this long. Um, I'm definitely excited for the draft. The draft's one of my favorite times of the year. It's definitely like a holiday for me, seeing who the Jets add to the team to finally end the playoff drive and be a good team. They always picking top 10, which is fun in the off season, but during the regular season, it's not really fun as much because it's not producing any wins. Um, a lot of people want them to get Tyler Warren. I wouldn't mind it. I think it'd be cool because they could add to the. They can give Justin Fields another weapon besides Garrett Wilson and Josh Reynolds, and then besides the running backs, the Jets definitely need another playmaker. So I wouldn't mind if they got Tyler Warren, but I also really am more of a fan of them really taking the right tackle from Missouri and Membu because if they take him, that could solidify the offensive line. I'd be fine with that. A lot of people now having them taking, you know, edge rusher from Georgia or the cornerback from Texas, who supposedly has been raving on scouting reports. So, and then also they got Mason Graham, who said he'd love to pair up with Quinn Williams. I think that'd be a great combination, especially to get the run game going because the run game last year was awful for the Jets. The difference between in 2023 and 2024 is that in 23 the Jets had a great run defense. Last year, for some reason, Jets got ran over like crazy. So we'll see. I wouldn't mind if they got Mason Graham. So I don't really know who they're really going to take, but those are the options, and I think those are all great options. So I can't really if you had me on the clock right now, I'm the GM of the Jets. I'm probably going to take Membu. I wouldn't mind if they took Tyler Warren, but I think the Jets were smart, they'd solidify the offensive line, or unless they could find a tackle. If they can find a tackle in the later rounds, go ahead. But and then take Tyler Warren because, like I said, they definitely need another playmaker. But like I was saying to a friend tonight, the Jets are not known for really using the tight end unless this new regime could find a way to break that mold, break that reputation they got. But that's just my thoughts on that. In terms of the Giants, people have them likely taking Abdul Carter with the edge rusher. Agreed, be a great pick, and they would have to trade Cave. They said they might trade Kayvon Thibodeau, which would be crazy unless they could find a way to get a good draft pick for him. I don't think if they take a quarterback, it's definitely stupid. I mean, if you could trade back into this in the first round, go ahead. And if you want to take Jackson Dart or Shedeur Sanders, but if the Giants take a first round, in my opinion, neither the Jets or the Giants should take a first round quarterback. Take a quarterback in the later rounds, sure, go ahead, but don't waste a first round pick on a quarterback because the organizations are in no way, shape, or form in a position to do that. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And I can go on forever, but I definitely want to give you some time to talk about it.
The Giants have the second pick in the second round, so if we wanted to get Jackson Dart there, I'd be okay with it.
He's not gonna be in there.
Yeah, that's why I know it's wishful thinking, but if it happens, it happens. Like I'm not mad. Third overall, I'm okay with taking Abdul Carter. I don't know why we would trade Kayvon Thibodeau. Why? Why? Why would we do that? That's moving in the wrong direction. But I am hoping for Hunter. I'm hoping for Travis Hunter in that spot there. Man, I feel like there's usually consensus 1-1 by this point, and I don't really see one between the Titans.
Oh no, there is.
There is who?
Cam Ward is definitely going number one.
Really?
Yep, and I like the pick. I like Cam Ward a lot. I think he's got a hell of an arm.
I was
I, li-
impressed.
I like the scouting reports on him. I think he's got a good build. If he's trained right, I feel like he could definitely make it in the league. So definitely over Will Levis. Nothing against Will Levis. I think he's got a good arm talent, good poise. He has shown he has some capability, but I don't think the Titans was a good fit. So I don't think he was really handed in a good situation. So I like to see him do good elsewhere. I still think he could flourish in the league, just not right now with the Titans. So if I'm the Titans, I would definitely take Cam Ward. Let him sit. Don't just put him in the fire unless he's Jaden Daniels. And hey, then go ahead. But if I'm them, Cam Ward is the pick, and then let him sit for a little bit. But that's what's going on with that.
Cam Ward's undersized, isn't he? Or am I thinking of another guy?
Might be another guy. Maybe I'm wrong. But not the reports I heard of.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I could be wrong. Just trying to see if there's like a.
But either way,
Usually there's a good mock. All right, whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't. I just want to be clear here because I don't like lying to the fans. College football, not my thing. The drafts and stuff like that, not my thing. Not my scene.
I'm curious to see where Travis Hunter's going to go. A lot of people concerned with him wanting to play multiple, positions, offense and defense. A lot of people concerned about his injury, potential of injury risk.
G for the Giants. That's where he's going. Pretty crummy looking G.
Definitely use him at corner. Definitely would sell a lot of jerseys. I'm not gonna lie, but
I mean, I think there's a path. Wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, cornerback. I think that's doable. To be a superstar wide receiver, no. That's unrealistic anywhere. But I think that cooler heads could prevail on that. I mean, you think about it, like you're going to be so focused with Darius Slayton, who gets paid more than Saquon Barkley, just to be clear about that, and Malik Neighbors. That there is a role for him on the Giants as a wide receiver. It's just not as a wide receiver 1 or 2. As a cornerback, yeah, you could definitely handle it. Basically, what I'm saying is you could use him, but you'd have to pick your spots. And I would rather have a guy that could do that than bring in another wide receiver who I'll also be using to pick their spots and spend more money for them. It's more money for the same thing. But
we'll see. But
we'll see.
I'm interested to see what the Steelers do, especially. I'm interested to see what Shedeur Sanders go. I don't get the hate with Shedeur Sanders. It's definitely because Deion Sanders is his father.
Yeah, but I was watching Fox Sports earlier, and I thought Nick Wright brought up a good point because Greg Jennings said that. I'm sorry, I cut you off, but Greg Jennings had said that, and Nick Wright said, "Yeah, but it cuts both ways because if he's Deion's kid, he might not even be in the draft.
That's true.
Let alone going in the first round.
If it wasn't for his father, he would have played at Colorado. He would have played at Jackson State. His father's definitely had and credit. Hey, good for him.
Yeah.
Hey, like I said, hey, good for him. Like as a father, you want to be able to, use your any power you can to help your kids be successful. Deion Sanders has definitely shown that. Now, when I'm looking at the stats and just looking at the tape, from what I've seen of Shador Sanders, I like him. I think he's got, so like I said, credit to Deion Sanders and credit to Shador for playing how he's been playing. I think he's got the talent. If I don't know how he is in the locker room, I don't know how he is around the teammates, his players, his demeanor. These coaches have more in depth than I do. But all I'm saying is when I look at him first glance, I like Shador. I think he's got the talent, and I think he can make it in the league if he's put in the right situation with the good coaching. That's why I could definitely see him going to the Steelers. If I'm the Steelers, I wouldn't wait on Aaron Rodgers. Definitely do all they can to secure a player like Shador because I think he would fit in with Mike Tomlin and the coaching staff. He played great with DK, played great with Pickens. I think he'd be great for the Pittsburgh Steelers, that organization who's dying to have, not dying, but they're craving to have a franchise quarterback that they probably should have, prepared for a long time ago after Big Ben retired. Like they didn't do a good job of really setting themselves up post Ben Roethlisberger era, and now they're paying for that because now they're waiting on a 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers to sign. So he's probably going to sign with them, but if he doesn't, you definitely want to have a quarterback. And Mason Rudolph is good, but he's definitely not the future.
He's also not on the team anymore, is he?
No, he signed back with them. He left and then he re-signed back with them. So, I mean, if they do sign Rodgers, it's definitely good to have. If I'm the Steelers, definitely take a quarterback. You need because Rodgers, you're only going to have him for 1 year, and you need a quarterback to play. Like, you need a quarterback after him. So, definitely Shador. I think Shador would be a good fit. I like Jackson Dart. I think he's got the swagger, the composure. He's definitely got the playing ability. A lot of people comparing him to Zach Wilson. A lot of people are going to come talk about his recent games that he's been playing. He hasn't played good, but we'll see. But yeah, that's what I'm Steelers. That's what I'm doing.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah, real quick.
18th overall pick, Seahawks. Do you think they take Jackson Dart or Shador?
No, because they got Sam Darnold. I think they're set on him. I don't know if they would take they just signed him to a big deal too. To a 3-year, 105.
Oh, that's right. I forgot it was 3.
So I don't think I don't think a quarterback would be in the mindset. Probably maybe another weapon.
I've forgotten that. I knew he went there. I just forgot it was that long.
They do got Cooper Kupp, but they
I forgot they got that.
They definitely could use another weapon for Sam Darnold because they got rid of Lockett and DK. So that's gonna be interesting to see.
Every single team has a first round pick, huh?
Even the Rams, which they never do.
Yeah, they have the 26th overall pick. You can see that being a Jackson Dart spot or a Shador Sanders spot.
But I'm excited for the draft, and we'll see what happens. But is there anything else before I wrap up?
Is there any player in the draft that you think is like a draft steal? Like you're really locked in on where this guy's going that may not be getting talked about as much?
I can't think of it right now.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to Sports Shack. My name is Brandon G. Natali. Hope everybody had a good Easter. I'm here also with Dennis Tui. Thank you guys and have a great one.